with our foam board with an easel, and then put the other on vinyl.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good evening this evening. Welcome back to another episode of Digging Deeper. We got Mr. Goldbay himself in the building. He is here specifically to talk about quite a few different subjects that has to do with buying, selling gold, what's going on in the market right now, and a whole bunch of other things. So welcome everybody to the podcast. What's going on, Dave? How we doing, bro?
Hey man, great to be back on the show. Really enjoyed last time. Love the questions that people asked. I'm looking forward to answering some questions for people. Obviously, yeah, lots changed as far as price of gold goes and a whole bunch of other things. You know, we have gold shows coming up, starting the GPAA show this weekend, and looking forward to being in Phoenix, meeting everybody there. So yeah, lots to cover, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely. James, how you doing, brother, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. You know, season's coming up quick.
It is.
Exciting things happening in my world, your world, Dave's world. You know, everybody's world out there. So
I think 2022 is going to be where it's at, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season. I got that feeling deep down inside. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So let's get this thing going. Dave, tell us what's been going on since we last saw you.
Well, let's see. Let's start with a gold show since that's like forefront for me. I'm actually leaving tonight after the podcast. I'm going to drive down to LA and then I'll
Madman.
drive to Phoenix tomorrow. So yeah, I'm a night owl
Madman.
anyways.
He's the intrepid traveler right there, man.
Oh my God. I haven't been home I think I've been home one weekend since the end of January, and the next 7 weekends in a row I'm traveling as well. So
Wow.
lots of that going on. A lot of it does have to do with the GPAA shows. This year is really exciting for me is that Goldbay is the sponsor of the gold panning zone at all the GPAA shows this year.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah. Dang, dude.
Yeah. So giving away a TV at every show, giving away paydirt at every show, looking forward to meeting people, showing them what Goldbay has compared to other people out there. And just I love seeing the thing that really makes me smile a lot is my dad got me panning gold when I was 11. And that very first pan of gold, there was 5 nuggets in it. So, a lot of kids show up at this show and you see them dipping their pans in the trough and they get those few little flakes and just the smile on their face when they find gold for the first time. And you guys, you probably don't forget your first pan either where you saw color. And it's like, it's the same thing. I just love seeing that. And it's something my dad instilled in me, that the love of gold and the prospecting. And, if I can pass that on, I'm too young to have kids my own. I'm going to be 59 this year, so I'm too young to have my own kids. And so if I can,
I say his damn golden nuggets are his kids because he sure treats those nuggets like they're his kids.
Yeah, I admit it. I got gold fever. I'm addicted. I've been addicted for like 47 years, man. I was 11 when my dad took me out the first time.
Right.
I definitely am an addict myself. I don't think that's a wagon I'll ever, be on.
I imagine that everybody that's watching this show is in the same boat as us. And you know what? There is no cure.
No. The only cure is to go get more gold.
And even that's never enough.
It's like a symptom, it like treats the symptoms a little bit, but it ain't no cure.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is it's supposed to keep you sane, but really you're insane going on the trips you go on. So in reality, that's so with the gold shows you're doing, man. I kind of wanted to touch on that. I noticed that they're doing a gold show over here in Washington.
Yep, I'll be up there for that one.
Is that's the Puyallup one, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be at the Puyallup one. So anybody watching right now, any of the PB family guys over on YouTube, check that show out. Come down to the Puyallup show if you're in Washington, Idaho. That's going to be a great show.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
That show is always really good for me. Like I lived in Spokane for a long time, so real connected to the Washington prospectors, the Idaho prospectors, Oregon, Montana, like all, that whole crowd. Like I just always love touching base with, people from that area. So yeah, for sure. Definitely come down and
hey, what other shows do they got going on? I know they got the Phoenix one that you're driving down after the podcast to. They got the Puyallup one. They have, I think they had 4 more.
Yeah, there's Portland, and then there's Portland, Concord, North Carolina, Columbus, Ohio, and then in July, the final show of the year is in Pomona. That one got postponed, and so it's July 23rd weekend, which is my birthday weekend.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be partying it up then.
Diet Pepsi, man. Round for everybody.
There you go.
He says Diet Pepsi. With all the concerts this guy goes to, I'm highly surprised that he is a Diet Pepsi fan.
Like when I bought this gold mine with Tony, we're going on 5 years now. About a year after we were here, we used to drink on the weekends, me and the guys and Tony and whoever was here. And there was one weekend where the guys said, "Hey, Dave, you want a shot?" Because he used to drink tequila. And I kind of thought about it for a second, and I thought, well, I haven't drank for a while. And I just said, nah. And it's just been nah ever since. And part of it was, there was just really no upside anymore. So, 59 years old, the body doesn't assimilate alcohol anymore. And if I had 2 drinks, I wouldn't want to go underground the next day or even the next 2 days. So it just became too great of a cost to bear. The upside just stopped. It just wasn't fun anymore. And I drank again last October. I got drunk 2 weekends in a row, but drunk was like 4 drinks instead of like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
felt like shit.
I know where you're at, dude.
For him in his 50s, it was more like a couple of sips.
I'm like a 3-day hangover. If I drink, it's just no good. I'm worthless for 3 days, like I had the flu. So I don't drink anymore either. It's it's a bottle of Sprite. Jaron sees it. I'm constantly drinking Sprite.
This fucking guy has not just a bottle. Every time we go out digging and we run in the high bankers, he has a cooler of Sprite. No, barely any food. He lives off of freaking Sprite, man. I tell you, that's his...
Yeah, for me it's Diet Pepsi, or I love the Bang energy drinks.
Yeah,
those are good. Those are
and
really
actually,
good
there's
too.
a new brand called Ghost, and they have them at AM/PM markets. Those are my all-time favorite for sure.
I saw those. I haven't even seen those in Spokane yet. I have not seen them anywhere.
I haven't seen them in Montana yet either.
Yeah, I don't know if they. I think they're an AM/PM brand, so you might be able to only get them there. But yeah, they're just really they're better than Bang for me.
Yeah, I'll probably have to look, see if I can get them online. I've been, it's funny. I actually quit drinking energy drinks for about 2.5 years and was just drinking you guys ever heard of cowboy coffee?
Of course.
Oh my gosh. So in the freight industry, this is the most disgusting thing ever. So what happens is they'll put fresh grounds in, that it'll be brewed through. And then the next, driver will come in. He'll put fresh grounds in on top of the old grounds and just keep compiling it.
Oh,
and just
wow.
brew it. And the first time I was introduced to cowboy coffee, I felt like I was up for close to 2 days because of how much caffeine and how nasty that shit tastes.
Yeah, Black Death is like that. So Black Death is a coffee brand, and it's super strong. And I had 2 of those one day, and I'm like, never gonna have 2 in one day ever again. Yeah.
Yep.
So I totally get that. I felt like I was like, it was like zoom, man.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty bad. That's for sure.
I don't do those energy drinks anymore. I use those to get across the entire country, straight through driving one time, and I can't even stand the smell of one. I'm like, get that thing away from me. That's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, they're brutal, man. They're brutal. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to touch on before we get into the buying, selling, smelting, what do you think about these gold prices right now, dude?
Well, it's a long time coming, and I think it's still undervalued for what we have happening around the world, like the inflation rate and, of course,
everything.
That always jacked gold prices and stuff up. But I think that there's quite a bit of room to move up. And one of the things that I want to help people understand is that gold isn't an investment. It's a hedge. Now, a lot of people, they've heard that it's a hedge. They know that it's a hedge, but they're not quite sure what that means. So I'll put it in layman terms. In 1980, if you had a $100 bill and you saved that $100 bill to today, that $100 bill would buy you $34 worth of groceries. That's the buying power of $100 bills from 1980. If you bought $100 worth of gold in 1980, today you could buy $330 worth of groceries with that same $100 worth of gold. Yep. So what it does is it maintains your buying power. It stays ahead of inflation. Right now, inflation's the highest it's been in 40 years. So that's why gold is moving up. It's not necessarily that gold is moving up, but what we have happening is the value of the US dollar keeps plummeting.
Right.
And therefore, it's a good thing to have on hand to maintain your buying power. And this week because of the gold price this week, particularly the big, huge rise 3 days ago, people have been saying, I want to buy gold. And they would ask, well, how much do you want to buy? And for some people, it's $1,000, or some people it's $2,000. Right, and I'm a gold dealer. So, I'll gladly sell you gold. However, and this is a suggestion, this is not advice. This is what I do, right? If I had $1,000 to spend and I was thinking about putting it into gold, I wouldn't actually do that. What I would suggest you do is you take $1,000 and you buy groceries at the grocery store this weekend that you would normally buy in the course of the next 6 months. Oysters or cans of tuna or whatever it is. Like, take that $1,000 and buy $1,000 worth of groceries, the type of groceries you're going to normally buy anyway, because I think we're going to see another 2 or 3 or 4% inflation over the next 6 months. So you're going to have immediate results from spending your money on groceries. It's just going to be less money that you're going to have to spend 6 months from now for the same thing. And then if you have any money left over and want to buy gold, then do that. If people want to buy gold, no problem. I'll sell it to you. However, I suggest buy some groceries. It's not going to hurt. Worst case scenario is you got fully stocked cupboards.
Well, I want to touch on the hedge topic real quick, because I think that's an extremely hot topic, because there's a lot of people all across the gold groups on Facebook that consistently, and I mean consistently, you see it, Dave, all the freaking time. People are looking to buy gold in bulk. They want to, but they don't know what to do, where to turn. Can you explain further what a hedge is and what the difference is between, trying to get that sort of thing situated for yourself versus buying raw gold and saving it in your closet?
Yeah, so it comes down to a personal preference. So what happens is, for people that I know that, and they use the word investing, they don't say I hedge. So, I just address whatever they're saying. So I want to invest in gold. Okay, it's not really an investment, like you said. It's a hedge. What it does is it just maintains the value of your money. Like right now, you can count $100 in your pocket right now, and you didn't take it out of your pocket for a year. 1 year from now, that $100 bill is going to be worth $92 worth of goods and services.
Right.
That's what we're talking about for inflation. Whereas if you have $100 worth of gold in your pocket and you don't take it out of your pocket,
it's going the opposite way.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that it'll be worth less than $100. It's going to stay ahead of inflation. Like, you can probably count on it being worth $110 to $115. Just depends. Like, gold is pretty consistent.
Right.
When I got into this business full time in 1999, gold was $300 an ounce, and I was making $10 an ounce profit. That's how long I've been doing this, right? And so it's never been about the investment for me. It's been more about, giving people a fair value for their money, educating people on why they should have gold. And so when people call me and say, hey, I want to buy gold nuggets for investment, what I do is I guarantee that if you buy gold from me, I'll sell it to you 1 ounce or more for number 8 mesh, which is about the size of a match head, and smaller. I'll sell you that for spot price, which is, whatever the price of gold is that day. So today it's $2,000, close enough, right?
Right.
And what I do is I'll guarantee that if you sell it back to me, I will buy it back from you at spot price.
Right.
There's no markup, and there's no markdown when you sell it back to me. Like, I make my profit because I finance a couple of gold mines. So I make my profit by, because I finance the mines, I'm able to do that, and I make my money that way. So if you take gold nuggets and sell them anywhere else, and, I know that a lot of tonight's topic is going to be about where to sell your gold. If you take it to, places that don't specialize in raw gold, you're not going to get spot price for your nuggets. And that's just the way it is. If you refine it and turn it into a melted blob of gold, you destroy the value of the natural nuggets. You're now left with a melted blob of gold that is whatever purity it is. You might have gold from different sources, and there is some gold in the United States that's as low as 70% out of the ground.
Exactly.
Right.
So 70 to 90 or 70%, 75% to 90% is your average in the United States. Australian gold is much higher. It's usually 97, 98%. That's just the nature of where the gold is formed and where it's from. But when you go to a secondary market, say like I'm not bad mouthing pawn shops. Shit, I owned 2 pawn shops for 8 years. So, they have to make money. There's a certain amount of overhead they have and stuff. So they pay X amount of dollars for your gold. But if they don't specialize in gold nuggets and need the gold nuggets for a secondary market, like for me, for paydirt, then they're not going to give you that full value for it.
Well, and they look at it as scrap gold, and isn't it a 30%? I'm almost in the ballpark. It's like 25, 30% lower that they're going to pay you for it, correct?
Yeah, exactly. The same thing with if you go in there with a gold bracelet or a gold ring, it's the same thing. They're going to discount it by about 30%. Right. And that's just, there's refining fees, there's overhead. Pawn shops have to hold their gold. Whenever they buy anything from you, they got to hold it for a month. So they're taking the risk that it could go down. And, That's just, that's what you can expect at a pawn shop. You're going to get approximately 70%.
Right. And so with that being said, obviously, the way and it's hard to kind of put this in the most simplest terms, but pawn shops are open for a reason. They're there because people go to them, and whether you go to them or not, you sell to them or not, whatever the case may be, they're open, they're there. But as far as, raw gold nuggets, as far as your placer gold and stuff like that, we're going to kind of cover what your best options are to get the most bang for what you have. If you have unexpected bills and you need to find a place to sell it to and things like that. But aside from that, Dave, besides the pawn shops, what would be one of the best things you could tell somebody as far as the whole smelting, refining situation? Let's say I have a half ounce of gold. I don't quite got an ounce, right?
Yep.
And I go on Facebook and I say, hey, I'm trying to find a recipe to be able to melt down my gold. Do I use borax? What would you tell someone like that that hasn't smelted their gold yet? What would you tell them? What would be your best advice?
Do not smelt your gold, period. So I'll give you a scenario. Let's say we'll use 1 ounce, for example. Okay. It's just a round easy number. Well, even a half ounce right now,
$2,000.
A half ounce of gold right now is $1,000.
Right.
If you're to sell me, or maybe, Shane Klesch, he buys gold. He's a really good guy. He has a YouTube channel. I pan for gold. That's Michael Valadez. He's still in the paydirt industry and he pays, for gold as well. Like paydirt sellers need gold.
Yeah.
So we're going to buy your gold from you in its natural form for a lot higher than if you melted it down. As soon as you melt it down, it's no longer useful to me or Shane or Michael. And you're now stuck with having to get rid of a gold button or a gold bar, however you melt it, just a blob of gold with an unknown purity. And you're going to get dinged 30% off of whatever purity it is. So if you go to a pawn shop, a lot of them, they have an XRF. They can tell you, okay, this is 81% pure. Then they're going to knock another 30% off of that.
Right.
Because that is no longer useful as a natural product anymore. It is simply
and what's worse is by melting it down, you're cutting off your open doors, so to speak, with where you can sell it to. You're
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Extremely narrow window. You take the chance of putting it on eBay and going through that complete headache and nightmare. There's so many problems that come down to smelting it. Now, if you're smelting it just as to have fun with it and hold on to it, you're not worried about, the monetary aspect, then, by all means, go have fun, try it out, see what happens.
You can make jewelry out of it or, whatever. You can have it in your pocket and, have your little pocket piece or whatever, for sure. But the minute you melt it down, you're limited to where you can sell it. Most places locally, like for most people locally, they're going to be able to sell it at a pawn shop. Jewelers won't take it at that point. Most jewelry stores nowadays, not all, and again, I want to make sure that I'm being politically correct with this. Most jewelers nowadays are jewelry retailers. Very few jewelry stores now have jewelers on site.
Yep.
Right.
So, bench jewelers are usually an industry of their own. A jewelry store sells jewelry that's already been manufactured. And then, of course, there are custom jewelers. But again, without knowing the purity of it, a lot of jewelers won't touch a melted blob of gold.
Yep.
Well, and another thing I'd like to touch on with jewelers is, I can't say that I'm 100% correct on this, but a lot of jewelers nowadays outsource the custom rings, the custom this, the custom that. They outsource that to their their specific person who handcrafts it and this, that, and the other. So so you're talking about markup after markup after markup with, dealing with that whole scenario. So, I mean, if you're looking to, if you're assuming, let me rephrase that, if you're assuming that you're going to somehow make more money by melting it down and getting it to a higher purity, you're actually restricting being able to sell that indefinitely. So,
so exactly what you just said too. The other problem with melting down raw gold is a lot of time, like, you don't know what's in it. So, sometimes you'll have iron in it, magnetite, copper, silver, it's unknown quantities. So
even mercury.
Yeah, that too. And jewelry that's sold in the United States has to be marked with the carat mark. Okay, by law, it's called a surety mark or a carat. So 10 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, 22 carat. Those are the most common.
Yeah.
And if you melt down raw gold nuggets or raw gold, even that you crush out of hard rock, the carat value of that gold isn't one of the U.S. accepted standards that you can sell. So whenever you sell your gold to a jeweler, they're going to have to refine it anyway to pure gold so that they can alloy it properly to 10 carat, 14
for
carat.
Strength. Yeah, for strength and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So,
and to be able to sell it legally. So
yeah,
it's not a usable product as a melted down product straight out of the ground. It's just not.
So I mean, in the most easiest way to put it, I mean, it's like you try to refine it at home with your MAP gas, with your oxyacetylene torch, you get this big gold blob. Well, without you knowing, or with you knowing, the jeweler, let's say they even do end up buying it, they're going to remelt that down. They're going to send it to a refiner. So, I mean, it's pointless
to melt. It's pointless to smelt at home. It really is.
It is. And see, here's the other thing that most people don't understand about refining. Refining is actually not done by melting it down. So the way gold is refined is it's called a wet chemical method.
Yeah,
and what happens is you take your gold, you melt it down, and then you drop it into aqua regia to dissolve it.
Right.
And then you use sodium metabisulfite or sulfur dioxide gas, whichever one you want, to drop out of the solution. So what happens is the gas bubbles bind with the dissolved gold molecules in solution and drop pure gold out of solution. Right. I was a refiner for 8 years, so I'm very familiar with the refining process. It's not a melting process; it's a dissolving process.
Right, and
there's a little tidbit for you guys.
Yeah, and the brown fumes that come off of that is extremely dangerous.
Yep. So, I started drowning in my own lung fluid one day because sulfur dioxide gas is lethal. Luckily, I had an asthma inhaler with me. I was wearing my respirator, but a little bit of the fumes got in behind like my nose here.
Right.
And immediately you can feel your lungs just tighten up and they stop working. But I had an inhaler in my pocket, took a couple hits on that and just walked outside going, fuck, I'm never doing that again. And that was it. That was the end of refining for me. It no longer became worth doing it.
Right then and there. That's like, no, damn near fell off that cliff. I'm done.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I've seen some of the guys on YouTube do the chemical process. But then again, is it really freaking worth it? I mean, if you're doing a video just to say, hey, I refined it to this carat, then, by all means, go and have fun and experiment and learn new things. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it? And the answer is no. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not cost effective. It's dangerous. Yeah. It's the acids are super lethal. The gases are lethal and toxic. They fucking rust everything. If you're doing it in your workshop, all your tools get rusty. You got to have proper fume hoods. You got to have proper ways to dispose of the chemicals once you've dropped the gold.
That was where I was going to get to, man. And then you have to deal with the proper disposal of these noxious, hazardous as hell chemicals, and that's not cheap either.
No, yeah. So it's just, if you want to do it to see how it works, it's great. I've got a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, I think, or I might have taken them down. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just not worth doing it. The best thing to do is if you got gold for sale, you can reach out to me, try on Facebook. There's people that buy gold on Facebook all the time. I see people, they have auctions and they have contests to win this nugget or whatever. And like I said, Shane Klesch, good guy. I've met him a couple times. Him and I are, we talk periodically. He's another Bitcoin guy, so we have that affinity. Plus, he's a metalhead, just like I am.
Yeah, he is big time, dude.
He pays fair for value for the gold. I know Michael pays fair value for the gold. Of course, I'll buy as much as anyone can come up with. I go through hellacious amounts of gold every month. So, yeah, there's places to sell.
We'll be talking this summer, Dave.
Yeah. So, for example, I don't need to know the purity of your gold. And if you have any like match head size and smaller, I pay 85% a spot, just flat out. It can be dirty, doesn't have to be cleaned. If you're to melt that down, here's the other thing people don't realize: the minute you start melting down dirty nuggets, you lose another 3 to 7% in weight by melting it down. One, people a lot of times get it too hot, so some of it fumes off. Two, you have dirt on it, which burns up, and you lose the weight of the dirt. And so 85%, and then, all the way up to bigger nuggets, I offer as high as 110% for gold nuggets. So you get a nugget that's a half ounce or bigger, I'll pay you 110% a spot.
Right. No, and that's the thing too, is I'd like to cover the topic of the whole Facebook situation with people trying to sell their gold in situations like that. That's something I've been wanting to cover. Like I was telling you earlier, Dave, I've had a lot of different people reach out and say, hey, man, I mean, I'd love for you to be able to do a podcast where people have a better option to be able to sell their gold if they have an unexpected bill. I mean, we know how the world's going right now. Yep. The whole job situation and the fuel prices and this, that, and the other. So there is a lot of different folks on Facebook willing to let go of their gold, but they don't know where the hell to go. I mean, they go on Facebook and post it in a group, and then, sadly but truly, they get ridiculed. They get, it becomes a negative thing all of a sudden, instead of them getting steered into the right path to be able to sell their gold and have a quick, easy process to be able to get money into their wallet, be able to pay their bills. They're getting ridiculed and getting negative comments and just bullshit that they don't need. So with that being said, their best bet would be, get a hold of you, get a hold of Shane, like you said. There was another one that you said, Michael. I'm not quite sure.
I pan for gold.
I pan for gold. I mean, I think I've heard of that a little bit.
You roll Dave's banner across the bottom for people there, Jared. So they
for sure. I mean, like I said,
do Shane's for him too, since we've been talking about Shane. He's been on the show.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
A concert ticket.
Yeah, you heard it, Shane, if you're watching.
Yeah, we gotta, that's funny too. We gotta get him. There's the website right there. Get on that website. Send Dave an email. I mean, he freaking just put his he just posted a whole description with his phone number, the whole situation, everything that you need. If you're trying to sell your gold, get a hold of him. He'll talk you through it, however much you got, whether it's a half ounce, quarter ounce.
I pay postage for people. Like, I'll print you out a postage label. As soon as I get to the post office, I open the package up and I actually write you I send you an e-check right from the post office parking lot.
Right.
Or so PayPal or whatever. Venmo, doesn't matter. Bitcoin, I don't care.
Yeah, you got it all. Whatever the choice is, boom, here you go. Here's your payment.
So for everybody watching, like I said, instead of jumping on Facebook, and I mean, you still have that option. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not going to say that that's not an option. You have eBay, you have Facebook,
many sources.
There's so many sources, but me personally, the guys over in PB, all the guys that are making sure PB happens and it's a good place, we all trust Dave 110%. He will not steer you wrong. You need some money for some unexpected bills with what's going on in the economy right now, and you got some gold sitting around. Get a hold of Dave. Don't hesitate. Don't post it off. Don't make a post on Facebook and put an insane amount of an insane price on it. Get a hold of Dave. He'll tell you what you got. He'll tell you what he's going to pay for it. Bottom line, get it taken care of right then and there. That way you don't have to worry about any of the problems, the bull crap that goes on Facebook. So
one of the questions I get sometimes from people that have never heard of Goldbay, and there's one or two at least.
That blows my mind. I just have to say that.
Yeah, every time I gotta tell somebody, what, you haven't heard of Goldbay? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, here's the website. Please go and check it out.
Yeah.
How do you not know about Mr. Goldbay himself?
I don't do traditional advertising. I don't get on these pages and start spouting off about my own paydirt and stuff. Like I don't need to. Like people come find me, right?
You know,
I'll tell you one thing.
A really good business doesn't have to do that, Dave. You know, really good business. You don't have to worry about who your competitors are or nothing. You know,
I'll talk about my competitors all day long because I don't have I don't have any competitors. Even Shane will tell you the same thing. He's like, I'm not Dave's competitor. No one's Dave's competitor.
Dave is Dave.
No. And the nice thing about Dave, try to add him on Facebook. His life in general, aside from the whole gold aspect, this guy's a wild man. This guy is a wild man. This guy posts all sorts of crazy ass songs. I just happen to have to click on it and listen to the song because he freaking posted it. Going to all these crazy concerts. I mean, he's down in the mine.
I didn't even know Metallica was in town.
At the side of the wall, talking about the veins spidering out. I mean, this guy is just absolutely badass. So if you ain't following him, you got a problem. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and I don't even post half of my antics because some of them I just can't. I'm just saying flat out, man. I can't post some of my antics, but I'll tell you
Facebook
what.
Jail.
You guys see about 20% of my life, and that's about it.
Hey,
it's a good 20%. All right, thanks for sharing.
Who are we talking to, James? We were talking to somebody on one of the podcasts, and they're like, yeah, I just need my own cameraman just following me around day to day just to do like their own biography. And that in itself, would sell like freaking hotcakes because, you're
One More Pan? Was it One More Pan? Or
I don't know who it was.
I can't do too many shows, man. I'll have to go zoom through them and see who that was.
It's great that you guys have grown to the point where you don't even remember who you had on anymore. It's like I'm happy for you guys too. Well, what you guys are doing with this podcast is epic.
Thank you.
We love it, man, and I appreciate that, Dave, dude.
We really appreciate that.
It's funny too because like the first couple of episodes, man, I was stuttering and terrified and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell this is gonna go. Let's give it a shot. Here we are. I think we're 23 episodes in, man, and it's just a blast every time we get on here, dude.
And you're our first official return. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, you as a guest, you're our first official return. Shannon came on, but Shannon did the masterclass series, so he did his own thing. Yeah, it was really awesome. That was great.
Yeah. I'm gonna pinch his ass in Phoenix this weekend, by the way, too. I can't wait.
Awesome.
Actually, as a matter of fact,
where is he? Can we pull him in?
As a matter of fact, well, that's the funny thing is, he was like, I gotta bust Dave's ass, so send me a link.
Good luck trying to bust my ass. It goes the other way too. So love you, Shannon. I can't wait to see ya, baby.
Did you see on Shannon's page? He walked out to his shop and he saw his little 4.5 foot tall guy.
Did you see what I posted about that?
I did it. I did.
Said, oh my God, this thing freaked me out. And I said, oh, you mean just like every time we see you at any of the gold shows, how you freak everybody out for real?
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
I hope I'm set up far away from him.
No, he's a badass, man. He's
a good guy.
Don't
say it. Don't public though.
No, he's awesome. Every time we have him on the podcast, it's just a blast, dude. Every single freaking time. But while we're waiting for shit, here we go.
Here he comes.
Hey, fucker.
Hey, cutie pie. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, baby.
Jesus.
Welcome to the show, Shannon.
What's up, Shannon? What's up, brother?
You're looking, hey, dude, you're looking extra hot tonight. You're wearing the same color shirt as I am, man.
Oh, look at that. Twinsies. We got twinsies in the building. We got twinsies in the building.
Yeah.
Shannon, how you doing, bro?
I'm trying to pull this. I had to close the other window.
Yeah, we heard you echoing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I got that other one closed. I'm doing good, man. Hey, I just wanted to say something before I give Dave a bunch of shit. Is I refer more people to Dave than anybody, obviously. Not only is he a good friend, and he's became a good friend because he's an honest person. He's a dick, but he's a really honest guy. He is the number one place. I just sent him a gal. Hey, did that girl from SoCal call you, bro? I hope that's a nice little chunk. She inherited many multi-seven figures.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so she's looking to buy a mine, which I'll tell you about offline here because I don't want people to know where this mine is. But it's pretty close to you've been really close to there before. Let me put it that way.
I got
you. So, yeah, man. Unfortunately, Davey, I can't go to Phoenix. Sparky's on his way right now with the trailer, but I won't be there this weekend. Are you going to Fresno?
I'm not. I've got Brian and Kayla looking after that show for me. I'm going to Mexico.
Are you going to Portland?
I am. I'm doing all the GBAA shows.
Okay, I'll be up in Portland as well. So, but bring my fucking rock. Bring me my rock back.
We need to get this fucker down to the Puyallup show. We need to get this fucker down to the Puyallup show. Is what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Get this guy to the damn Puyallup show.
Yeah, why not?
You know, we did that show before, guys, and we lost money on it.
Oh shit.
You know, and if you think about, we're not Dave, where he can carry what he has basically on an airplane. We've got a 10-foot by 6-foot trailer that's full to the top. That's what we have to bring to the show.
$5 a gallon gas prices.
Yeah, you're looking at that, and then if I'm pulling it in my truck, I get 10 miles of the gallon. Do the math on driving all the way to Seattle.
Shannon, shut the fuck up. I'm going to donate $1,000 for you to go to that show.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. You're coming to
Goldbay,
Puyallup.
Okay.
You're coming to the Puyallup show.
Fucking A.
When that hits the bank account, I'll agree to go.
Send me your Venmo. I'll send it right after this podcast. I'll send you $1,000. I want you to come to that show.
Puyallup.
Okay.
There it is.
You suck.
Isn't it great how we bring people together?
When is it anyway? When is it?
Find out. Let me open my calendar. Hang on.
No, that'd be awesome, man.
March 25th or March 26th and 27th.
We're getting Shannon down there. That'd be awesome, man.
He's on the drag race board.
We got a shitload of people.
Not only that, Shannon,
going to the Puyallup show.
March 26th and 27th. Dude, that's the Fresno show. I can't go.
No, the Fresno show's next weekend, the 19th, 20th.
Oh, you're right. Fresno's next weekend, and then Portland's after that.
Portland's after Puyallup. Portland is March 9th and 10th.
Shannon's coming up with excuses. Shannon's coming up with 10th.
Well, I don't know, man. All right. Anyway, we'll move on.
$1,000 and a gold nugget to give away. So not only the $1,000 for expenses, but I'll donate a gold nugget.
Nice.
There you go.
Now what do you say, fucker?
So, do you want to do swappies on the excavator and the dozer? You still need the D6?
I don't, but you're more than welcome to use the dozer or the excavator, so no problem.
Oh, okay. I thought you were putting in a fucking vineyard or something. Gonna be some little liberal and wear a Biden hat.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
I got some. Hey, by the way, I got my new Goldbay hats today. I got my new Goldbay shirts. I'll have merch on the store.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab me one of them bad boys. Shannon still freaking hasn't sent me one of his, but I guess I haven't sent that sweatshirt out to him either. So
that's right. When I get that, you'll get the other shit. You'll get your care package, dude. I already sent you a fucking care package.
Where's mine, Shannon?
Where's mine, Shannon?
You already I give you free shit all the time. I take that little dickhead. He drinks those little fucking power drinks or whatever the hell they are. I go and buy them the flavor that he wants and hand deliver them to him.
I'll give him that.
No shit, I do. That's actually true.
That's funny. We were just talking about those too. That is hilarious. Fucking
yeah.
Where are we on this show?
How have you been doing in the mine, Dave?
We found some gold yesterday, and we're breaking into the old workings where they found 300 pounds back in the 70s and 80s. So the veins are still in place. I expect we're going to probably start finding some pretty good gold. So I posted 3 TikTok videos, and then they went to Instagram and Facebook. But I posted some videos showing this, getting the signal, extracting the gold. So I got some videos up, and I think we're about to hit something good.
Nice.
Good. You need to come over, and I got to show you some things now. Things have changed dramatically.
Yeah, but same thing should come down here too. So
yeah, well, I will. So did you see how bad I screwed up last week? So I had a piece, a rock about yay big. It was like the size of a fucking, fun-sized candy bar. And I cut it, and it was about 90% gold. Yeah. And since I'd already cut it. But anyway, I need to talk to you about using some acid to, because it's the second time I've done that now. So we're going to do specific gravity on some of the smaller. I should have known, because when I picked it up, I'm like, dude, seriously. Heavy. But I cut it anyway, and I ruined it. But we don't have the crystalline gold like Dave does. He's got the really, really good stuff. But I don't know. We have found some pretty cool crystalline pieces. But you got to come to the mine, dude. I got to show you some things that.
Yeah, I'll come up. Should be able to come up maybe next. Well, I got someone coming here for a couple of days. Not next week, but the week after I can come.
Okay.
Before the Puyallup show.
So what we found is 3 vertical pay streaks. One of them, the old timers, which is really, really funny, is we found a rock that was literally the size of a loaf of bread, and it was so worn and so corroded, and it had, lichen and everything else. Had been sitting on the surface for tens of thousands of years, just sitting there, gold sticking out all over it. And then there was gold all over on the ground underneath it. Well, next to it, actually about 5 feet away, the old timers dug this little trench. It was only about 2 feet deep, and they were looking for the vein. They missed it by 3 feet, and they missed all that gold laying on the surface. So anyway, we dug down, and there it is right there. So it's going to be really easy with an excavator to just expose that hanging wall, and then we'll hit it with the detector. I can't freaking wait, but I got to show you 2 other things, man. It's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of you when I get back. I'm coming home Sunday night. I'll be home Monday morning, and then I've got someone here Tuesday. I might be able to come up Thursday for the day.
Okay. Well, give me a call. Let me know. So when are you dickheads coming down here?
Okay, so there's
last week of June. Last week, 9-day vacation road trip bonanza. It's going to be
last week of June, huh? What do we got in June?
So we're starting 19th, and then we're ending. We're doing that whole week, and then we'll be heading back Sunday, I want to say.
Cool.
So we should be hitting you up. What is that? Thursday, Friday-ish.
Wednesday-ish, I think.
Was it Wednesday? I think we were planning on spending a couple of days over there. So I'm thinking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So put that on your calendar, bro. We'll stay in touch, and that way we can get that planned. But that's what we have planned up for the itinerary.
You guys do know that if you go to see that asshole, I'm only 45 minutes away, right?
We know.
Oh, no. I was going to say, we're going to come and see you and bullshit with you.
Oh, yeah.
As the crow,
I want to climb down a really long ladder.
As the crow flies, we're only about maybe 16, 17 miles away as the crow flies, but the road getting to there and up to his place, it takes close to an hour.
Bagby Hill, man, is something else.
Hey, if you ever been in Montana,
try walking that when it's 105 out.
No, only
if you ever been to Montana, you know that it's an hour or more to anywhere you gotta go. So that's like normal.
Yeah, pretty
I like Montana. Montana's a badass state.
Fucking cliff sides with the fucking 1-car fucking road, dude. You got to back out onto a little turnout for a fucking person to pass you. That shit's pretty crazy over there. That's for damn sure.
Dave's mine's cool though.
Yeah.
Did you get your lift fixed yet? Or do you still have to fucking climb that 800,000 mile ladder?
It's only 800,000 miles for people that are old and out of shape.
Hey, what can I say, man?
Not that.
Yeah, no,
it's
right. Ladders in and out. The lift is only for rock. But guys, I want to get on the road by 7 tonight, so I got 9 more minutes.
Let's get this going.
Yeah, all right, I'll let you go. Anyway, I just wanted to call and give Davey some shit. So, bro, call me next week. Let's schedule time when you're at the mine, and you two little freakwads up above.
Is anyone from Amory going to be at the show, or?
Yeah, Don's on his way with the trailer. Jerry and Connie will be there.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you next week. I'll bring your rock up to see you next week.
Shannon, Shannon, think about it, bro.
All right, I'll see what I can do. All right, guys. Later, Dave.
Hey, brother.
All right, let's get this back going on with Mr. Dave Varabioff.
9 more minutes. Let's cover.
Let's see if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, so let's give a couple of shout outs real quick. We got Arrow in the building, One More Pan. We got Malcolm Roberts. We got Sergio in here. We got Christy. If any of you guys, we got Andrew in here. Let's see. We got a few more. We got Mr. Ed. What's going on, Ed?
I've even seen people say I'm never melting again.
So Christy has a great question I'm looking at here. It says, how can a person get into buying gold like you? How can a little fish get in?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people don't know this, but Goldbay started with $17 in 1998.
And that was off of you using eBay, right?
Yeah, I went on eBay. I found a gold nugget for sale for $17. I thought, oh my God, I found a great new way to acquire gold. I paid the $17. I got real excited about it. It came in the mail, and it was this tiny little thing that had been blown up. And it was just like, when I opened it, I was so disgusted and so disappointed that I said, no more. I said, I'm going to figure out how to sell gold, not buy gold. And that's really how I started. And so, Christy, to answer your question directly, one of the things is there's people out there that are selling gold that they buy from me. And I work with people that want to get into this business. I'll give you breaks. Like I'll help anybody out that wants to get into this business. I'll, help you out to get started, sell you stuff at a price that you can start making money. And like I said, when I first started in this business, I was making $10 an ounce profit. That's all I was making. But, here I sit doing the type of business I'm doing now, which is far beyond anything I ever dreamed. I've got 18 employees because I've got different aspects of my business. I own this gold mine with my partner, Tony, from Australia.
Different
and it all started with just like, I've always been living this life. Like, I've never been chasing my dream. I've been living my dream. And part of living the dream is sometimes it doesn't always go the way you want, but I've never lost the passion or the zest for gold. Just if it's something you're interested in, and I get to play with gold all the time. And it's because I'm just, it's what my life is all about. I'm called Gold Dave. So yeah, Christy,
I like to call you Mr. Goldbay because Goldbay is just so suiting. I mean, you see his background, you see how many of those gold shiny bags are right behind him.
Yeah, that's 2 days inventory right there. That's how much pay dirt I send out.
That's freaking absolutely insane, bro.
Awesome.
So I know you got just a couple more minutes, so I wanted to touch on what you just said. To answer Christy's question. If you look at this is a very good example. Emily Rydell, Steve Rydell's daughter, she just opened up her own website, starting to sell Bering Sea gold, and she sells bags at reasonable prices. That's a very good example of basically opening your own shop up, so to speak.
Yep.
You don't, if you don't have the investment to start your own physical shop up, open up a website, and invest in a little bit of gold. Obviously Dave will hook you up. Start doing pay dirt bags. I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen is a lot of these different guys are doing different things with their pay dirt bags. Yeah. Shane up in Canada, he does 5-card poker. So you buy 5 bags. Each bag comes with a card. If you have the best hand at the end of the month or something like that, you get another pay dirt bag sent to you absolutely free. Yep. Emily Rydell, she sends out a free T-shirt and a couple other things. So I mean, there's so many different ways of doing it. It all boils down to having a small initial investment, getting out there and actually seeing what happens.
Yeah, you want to develop your market. So here's the other thing, Christy, and I'm just going to address you directly since you're the one that asked the question, is like, you're going to target people that I'm not targeting. Like, you have different friends on Instagram. You have different friends on Facebook. You might, if you have an Etsy account. I don't have Etsy. I'm not interested in Etsy. It's not my market. And, there's a whole wide world of the internet out there that's, you're connected to the people you're connected to that I'm not. And you want to start addressing those people. You want to start, having those people know that you're selling gold. And so, if you just love gold and you want to get involved in it, get $100 or $200 or $300, whatever you can afford, and develop, like you said, your own paydirt, your own brand, your own logo. And, you'll build it up over time. This is not a get rich quick thing. It's something that you're doing because you're passionate about it. You love gold, and, getting to share that joy and passion with other people is what this is all about. And that's why I'm looking forward to doing all the shows. Like, I'm going to be at every GPAA show. I want to meet people, talk to them, show them stuff they've never seen before, let them see gold specimens that people don't even know exist, things like that. And that's really how you start.
That's what it boils down to, bro. Yeah, that's what it boils down to, dude, is the next generation of prospectors and miners are there's so much more bigger of a crowd, more than freaking ever, dude.
It's crazy. Like, there's I think the GPA has like 70 or 80,000 members. Like, it's a big market. So here's something I'm going to do, and I don't do this very often. I'm going to give you guys my personal phone number right now. So I'll give you guys a minute to get a pen and a piece of paper, and you guys can share it on Prospecting Buddy. But what you want to do is you want to text me with your name, that you saw this show, you're interested in getting going in the gold business. So my personal phone number is 509-951-5604. Just send me a text, say you saw me on the Prospecting Buddy show, and let's get a communication going, and let's start getting you going down this path of buying and selling gold. And that's how I started.
That's awesome, Dave.
That's awesome, Dave.
And that's, dude, we appreciate you jumping on here, man. I know you got a lot going on in your life, but being able to jump on here and help out the next generation, or help out folks that want to start their own business and, kind of get away from the 9 to 5. I mean,
exactly.
It's hard, and it's far and few between, but I will say that if you don't try, how will you ever know it will succeed or fail?
What's the worst case scenario? If you buy gold and you can't sell it,
you got a bunch of gold.
You got a bunch of gold, damn it.
What's the downside risk?
Exactly, right?
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
That's the one thing I want to say about gold. When you buy gold, you're not actually spending money. So if you go to Starbucks and you pay $8 for a cup of coffee, and then you go and urinate it out, you've spent that money. It's gone. You got nothing to show for it. When you buy gold, if you buy $100 worth of gold and you can't sell it, you're left with $100 worth of gold. You have your currency in a different form. In fact, you have it in a form that's not devaluing like the dollar bill is.
It's a much better, it's honestly a much better form, and we can say that with 100% honesty, because you see what's going on right now. Everybody sees what's going on right now with gold prices, and who knows if it's going to stay that way or if it's going to hike up. But right now,
again, it's a long-term thing. It's a hedge. It's it's the price of gold rate or rises in concert with really what's happening in the world and the economy. And so I don't see any downside, any major downside to gold price right now. Yeah, it's at 2,000. It might get back down to 1,800 or something, but it ain't going to stay there. No. And with the dollar, the US dollar continuing to devalue, the US dollar and the US economy is starting to become less and less significant in the world.
Right.
It's not going to, we're not going to have the American dollar rise to its greatness anytime soon.
Right.
And so, gold is just something that's not a bad thing to hang on to. Buy yourself some groceries, save yourself some money in the long run, buy a little bit of gold, buy some gold to resell it. If you make $5 or $6 or $7, if you spend $50 and you sell whatever you bought for $50 for $55, you've made 10%. Try and do that in the stock market.
Yeah,
consistently.
No, seriously, right.
Well, it's 8 o'clock in my
Yep.
place. We got to get Dave down the road.
Dave got to get out of here.
Jaron, do you have anything that you want to say or inform our watchers that we got going on that's special?
Well, I got like 7 sticky notes here. It's going to take another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Dave, I know you got to get out of here, brother.
I don't have to get out of here right now. Like I got
all right, so let's just run through something here.
Okay.
All right. So first and foremost, I don't know if any of you seen, that's to the end, James. Don't build it up just yet, bro. Come on. Give me 2 more seconds. Ronnie James is doing an auction for the family of the late and great Daniel Grant.
Yes.
So that way his wife and his kids can be more taken care of, helped out financially with the auction that he's doing over there. All the proceeds that he's getting from the auction is going straight to Daniel Grant's wife and kids. So if you can go over to Bottom of the Pan Prospecting and Mining page, stay updated with all that good stuff. It's a great cause, and it's a good way to help out our community. Yep. Other than that, let's see here. We got our annual spring giveaway coming up. It'll be May 8th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Absolutely free giveaway. We're going to have some sluices to give away, some freaking mats to give away. We're going to have a couple of really cool PB paydirt bags to give away. It's going to be epic. It's going to get you guys on the right track for the start of the 2022 season. So don't miss out on that. Let's see here. We also have a new t-shirt design. Dave, you're going to love this. Absolutely love this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this took us a little while to come up with.
Time for a swap, I think.
It is great.
This here is going to be a little controversial, but we put a lot of thought into it with the last 2 years of what's gone on. I'm going to be pressing this. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it.
Right there.
But that is going to be the new release, limited release. As you can see, it's going to be on the back of a t-shirt. You're going to have the very small, like 3x3 front PB logo on the front, and then on the back, that's what you're going to get. Enough of this. Get outdoors.
I love it. That's just great.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then let's see here. Our last announcement for this evening is the newsletter. So we're doing a newsletter every month. We're going to come out with a lot of people's different new products. We're going to be going all across the board. If Dave has stuff going on his website, if Shannon has some exciting news for AMRA, we're going to try to pack as much as we can into that newsletter, so all of the community benefits from that newsletter. So with that being said, I think we're gravy train.
Hey, Dave, thank you for coming on again, man.
Absolutely.
And safe travels tonight.
I love what you guys are doing. I love the fact that you guys are, keeping this passion alive with the community and what you're doing for, the community in whole. And it's, it's a group of like-minded people that will continue to keep this alive. And, one of the key things you said at the beginning of the show is the new generation. They sit in front of their iPads and their cell phones, right, and they don't know what it is to get outdoors. And if you get one kid outdoors, it's worth it.
Big time.
Yep.
That pays for itself. Anything that you invest into that panning station or bringing them, anything that you invest into that child's future, as far as the panning and the getting outdoors, and you see that sparkle in their face and their smile, that pays for every damn dime and penny and nickel and quarter that you put into whatever brought them to getting into panning and this, that, and the other. So
when my dad took me out panning, that was 1974. He would have never dreamed that I would have created this out of him taking me panning that day. He didn't do it for that. I asked him one day, I said, what had you take me panning that day? And he said, I was just trying to be a good dad and see what stuck. And I said, well, it's stuck, man. And he was alive long enough.
Proud of you, man.
He was alive long enough to see me buy this mine and find some of the epic gold that I've found, and cool to see Goldbay grow to the extent it has. And I know he's looking down on me still, and just really
you made him proud. You made him damn proud, man.
Damn right,
so
man.
that's awesome. So, Dave, I won't keep you any longer, brother, man. I hope everybody watching this evening, was able to enjoy the podcast. I love having Dave on here. Of course, Shannon, he hit me up and said, hey, I have to give Dave some shit. So we had to get Shannon on here.
Of course. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
And then, hey, when Shannon does his second interview show, we'll make sure to pull you in, Dave.
Yeah, make sure that I get to come on for sure. Absolutely.
You know, what comes around goes around. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Shannon, we're going to edit this part out so you don't know about that.
Yep, exactly. All right, Dave, you have a good night, brother, man.
We'll see you in Puyallup. Can't wait to shake your hand and talk to you then.
Hell yeah, brother, man. James, you both have a good night.
All right, guys.
See you guys.